Imagine a man standing tall and proud. He appears past middle age, the gray overtaking his thick, straight hair has been hard-earned. He's at the edge of the lake known as the Gift. His deep-set green eyes look towards the road that leads here, waiting for the people of Alma to arrive. Those he has the responsibility to lead. The steward of the people. The third, remembering. We are in the moments right after the encounter with the Cadejos. You are in the jungle near the road and you can hear people moving on again, heading towards the Gift. It's actually not much further from here. Roll a d20 for me and add your charisma modifier for a social initiative.
16.
17.
14.
And that's a 1.
Oh.
It's okay.
16.
17.
17, 16.
No, it's 16.
Yeah.
17.
16, 17, 14.
And 1. Yeah.
We start with Catalina and Leo. 17?
Yep.
Leo. Before you is Catalina. Do you look at Catalina or do you look away?
I look at her.
When you look at them, what do you see?
I see someone honestly very probably mirroring my emotions right now. Confused, a little alarmed, but I also see someone in their power a bit after the fight that we just had.
Confused, alarmed, stepping into their power, something in that reminds you of yourself. If this is what you're in the presence of, what does that make you want to do next?
Meet that sort of, how to describe it, but that awakening, I guess, in the both of us a little bit, and try to understand more what's going on, what this light in front of us is, why we keep hearing now the both of us, Eliseo, and how it might all be connected to what just happened.
As that's moving in your mind, as it's moving in your mind, what do you do or say to Catalina?
You heard him too, right?
Yeah.
I've been hearing him all day, but I can't see him anywhere, and people keep asking me to look for him.
Okay. Can he turn invisible? Is that a thing that he can do?
I didn't think so, but maybe.
Because, maybe he's got magic.
Yeah. Can I sort of want to turn around and call out to him.
You can?
Say, Eliseo, are you there?
And you hear nothing back.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is the light still in front of us?
It's now cloud, the mist rolls back over, and that beam of light that was in front of you is now gone.
You said that normally Cadejos don't attack unless they smell blood.
Yeah.
And no one, as far as I could tell, no one really was injured when we started the parade.
Right.
And you said that they seemed fairly organized. What's going on? Do you have any ideas?
I have no idea. The only thing I can imagine is there's something waiting for us at the Gift that they smell, or that someone, that's the only thing, and I'm afraid to even think it, but that's the only thing I can imagine, is that we're sort of headed in that direction and they are also, and we were in their path.
Do they have conflict with the Arapaima fish? Do they?
No, I mean,
why would they be mad? They seem like very different territories.
I have no idea. It's news to me too.
Yeah, it's like I've been wondering why we're training, at the temple. We seem to be preparing for something, but I never really know what, and we're not really supposed to ask. But I don't know. Is there some sort of when you go out on your hunts and stuff? Do you see any sort of rifts happening
Between the animals? You mean?
Yeah.
Do I? I mean, normally.
As you ponder that, someone emerges from the direction of the road, and it's Azune.
Oh.
He looks at the two of you. He looks at the cadejos that you have felled in front of you, and he says to you, "Job well done. I believe it's time to move. May I speak to you, Leo?"
I'm not even here. I move away immediately, giving privacy.
And he gestures to you to follow him, and he does the same to you too, Catalina. It's time for us to continue moving, but just a moment with you on the road as we walk back, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. And I sort of straighten up and follow him.
Great, and he starts to lead you back out. He stops for a moment, turns back around, and he sees an arrow of yours stuck in one of the cadejos, and he says, remember not to touch that. We will leave the cadejos where they are. They are a bad omen, after all. So it's best to leave them.
Do I know why he asked me not to touch it? Is it?
He knows that you have a habit of retrieving your arrows because every single one of them is precious.
Yeah.
But not with this, he says, as he points at the cadejo again. And then he continues to move towards the road.
I follow him.
And do you follow as well?
Yep. Okay.
And from there, we move deeper into the jungle. Koja, Neza. Neza, before we do anything else, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
That is a 12 plus 14.
A 14.
Come on now.
You are you on your knees at this point? Are you still on your knees?
Yes, I'm holding on to Koja's hand, sort of nestling into him.
And you feel a wave of exhaustion start to come upon you as you realize that you've been up for more than 24 hours. You can feel that some of what's been throwing you off is precisely that, exhaustion trying to find its way in and claim you. But something about the contact you have with your friend there and the hand on your shoulder that you feel up against your skin is like a breath of fresh air. And you're able to stave off that exhaustion. Before you, Neza, is Koja. Do you look at them or do you look away?
Looking at his hand, I sort of notice what I'm doing, that I'm holding his hand, and I look at his hand, and it's impossibly large and firm and delicate, and that strikes me as an impossibility, strange. And I watch it and give your hand just a squeeze, let go and take stock, accounting of what's happening.
You do that. And as you let go of that hand, the sensation of that physical contact lingers for a moment. And although you didn't look directly at him, having that contact and feeling him in your periphery, what do you get from him from that?
There's a disconnect between his hand and the support he's giving me and whatever he's going through. There's what I recognize immediately is inner turmoil.
Do you get up?
Yeah, yes, I get up. I'm looking, when I realize that, I start to look for the gold dust and see if there's any, because I want to talk to him about it, but I don't know if I should, if there's no evidence of what I was about to say.
You don't see any evidence of the gold dust.
Yeah, sorry. I stand up and I'm a little wild-eyed and then refocus on you, Koja. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine now. I also needed that moment to feel a friend. So thank you for that. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm better now that you're here. I don't know what was happening there. This is gonna sound a little crazy, but did you hear something? Someone, a voice? Did you hear a voice?
A voice. What did the voice sound like? I didn't hear anything, Neza.
Okay. We should get back to the others.
Yes. But first, the voice.
Yeah.
What did it sound like?
Like the voice of some, I don't know. It sounded like I should know it.
Not a familiar voice?
Yes, but no. Yes. It feels like everyone's voice and no one's voice. And there are times where it sounds like my grandmother, and there are times where it sounds like a faint whisper like my grandfather. And then I don't remember what they sounded like, really, but
Do you remember
sometimes
what
it feels like my parents.
Do you remember what they said at all?
No.
Magic?
I kind of hope not. I hope it's... Is it silly to say I hope I'm hearing voices?
No.
I hope I'm hearing voices. I hope it's not... I'm not ready to be anything other than what I am right now. So I hope it's not anything that'll change me.
Neza, we are changed. What just happened to us? It's changed us forever. We have killed. I mean, we are justified in our actions, but there's no turning back from what we just did. I don't know about you, I've never had to do something like this before. I never needed to. I never wanted to.
But did you enjoy it?
A part of me did, and that is unbearable. Did killing them satisfy any part of yourself?
Well, I didn't kill any of them. I failed horribly in front of... I failed.
You did not fail.
I did.
You're here standing. You did not fail.
And in that moment, you hear a rustling in the foliage. And from the corner of your eye, you see Elitza returning to the road.
Returning where?
Returning towards the road.
Neza. You did not fail.
I spoke. Did you hear how I spoke to her?
You very much have the capability of failing, but there is a way to make things right now. Go, talk to her.
I pick up the short sword that you gave me.
Oh my gosh.
Leo, I stick it inside of my frock, and we should get back to the others, Quolla.
You're right.
As you turn to go, I would like either a nature or arcana check from either of you, from both of you. Your choice.
Can I give him the help action?
It's a separately occurring thing, and it's internal.
Nature and what was the other one?
Nature or arcana.
It's a 10.
A 10?
Yes.
5.
5. As you turn to leave, something about where you just were kind of pulls at you for a moment longer. It almost makes you stop, almost makes you turn, but then as quickly as that pull came, it goes away.
I'll just turn over and linger on it a little bit, yes? I'll just turn over and linger and just look deeper into the forest. Is there anything there?
You just hear the sound of the wind.
Before I forget, you
Yeah.
you were impressive out there. Do you have any training, battle training?
No. Please, can we not discuss this right now?
Yes, sorry. All right.
In time. In time we will, but I need to understand this new side of myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
From there, we go back to the road. Leo, Azune is next to you, and he turns to you. Before he speaks, he looks around and steps closer to you, clearly intending to speak in confidence. So, Eliseo,
Yeah.
you finally got rid of him or what?
No, I wanted to ask you about that actually. I keep hearing him.
I'm
but
sorry, what?
I keep hearing his voice. And I don't know if he's I don't think he's taunting me, but I never see him and I just hear him. I heard him after the battle and I turned and he wasn't there, so I don't know if he's around and just not showing himself.
Well, I can confirm for you that he's missing. He's nowhere to be found. We heard that he had been missing from an assignment earlier.
What assignment?
Well, apparently he double booked himself. He was meant to be with you early this morning. But from there, he was supposed to go with Elira and help her train a little. That's when we discovered that he was a no-show. But we just thought it was the Festival of Abundance and his just, doing some celebrating a little early. But we've been searching and we can't find him. So all I can say is, it is interesting that you seem to be hearing him, but maybe it's something other than him. At any rate, I'm telling you that we should be on, we're not sounding the alarm, but just keep a lookout.
Sure.
If he's gone missing, if he's playing a prank, that seems a little bit unlike him, but just keep a lookout. And if you find him, let me know.
I will.
And if you hear him, let me know that too.
I will. And what do you think about the cadejos we encountered? I mean, it's unusual.
It is unusual. And he turns and looks around as he sees he's taking in the parade of people moving north towards the gift. And you can see that there's other hunters and acolytes that have been kind of moving around and checking in on people. And you get the sense that people have been talking about the cadejos. You're right, it's unusual what they've done, for sure. We've never seen them behave that way. We don't know what it means, but of course, we have the little bit of a superstition that the cadejos are a bad omen. Some of us here believe that a little bit more than others, and for me, this type, I'm not so worried about them. It's the bigger version that I think might be more of a concern, but I wouldn't talk about the cadejos too much. Some of the people here are a little bit unsettled by their presence. We don't yet know what that means.
Sure.
But we took care of them, like we were trained to do.
Yes. And I'll keep a lookout for Eliseo, but I'm here if you need anything.
I appreciate that. And he steps forward, stepping away from you. Catalina, how far behind were you?
I was definitely eavesdropping, but I was like pretending like I was like, I'm respectful distance, but enough that hopefully I can still hear that.
Give me a perception check.
You got it. Alrighty, let's see here. Nope, 4. So I heard bigger, and then that was about it.
You tried to eavesdrop and focus your attention, but in classic Catalina fashion, something else took your attention.
Sky.
As you saw Arden.
Ground.
Well, first you went from sky to ground to Arden, who again is just, you see him making his rounds, checking on people, and he turns and looks at you and you meet eyes, and he gives you a wave. And
wave back.
he sort of signals something to you. He points at you, he points at himself, he points at you again, and then does this sort of like talking gestures with his hands, and then does this sort of like rotating his fingers over each other.
Okay. We need to talk quickly, rapidly, in a circle.
And then he moves on to something else.
Oh no, I didn't know. No. Okay, I do. Okay, I think I will make a note of that, and I'll try to get over to him at some point soon. Yeah, if he's moving on.
He's moving on.
Okay.
He's convinced that whatever he was trying to convey landed completely, perfectly.
We need to talk, and then a spinning motion. Okay.
As you all continue to move north towards the gift, just a matter of minutes pass where you start to get to where the foliage in the jungle becomes less and less dense. There's a big clearing that the road leads you to, and a lot of people have already arrived, and they start to spread themselves out. They're lining themselves up, getting close to the shores of the lake. And you arrive just in time to hear Elder Arhan speak. You see him standing at the edge of the lake, and he regards the people of Alma as they arrive, nodding, almost as if he's counting groups of people as they arrive.
Huh. That's interesting.
Scanning everybody. And then he begins to speak, his words ringing through the crowd. The people of Alma, let us not forget why we are here. We are here to answer the call of the river spirits and keep our promise to aid the Arapaima, to honor the labor and the sacrifice made to provide for the next generation. We have come to witness what it means to be willing to make such a sacrifice, to learn from the Arapaima what our responsibility to our children truly is. And we come to say to the great Arapaima and to the river spirit that we see what you are willing to do for your children. We understand the sacrifice you are choosing to make. And for that, we say to you, great Arapaima, that you deserve another chance to live. And we are here to deliver on that promise. And a silence reverberates across the crowd. You turn around and you see a lot of people taking that in with their eyes closed, people nodding in agreement.
Are we there?
Yes, you have arrived.
In that silence, a thought occurs to me, and I whisper, hopefully so that no one can hear, but I want to try, it's the only thing I can think to do at the moment, which is, Colandero, are you here?
Roll me a straight charisma check.
Plus 3. 17.
17. Your words, like water, flow from you and are caught in the wind. And that wind carries it, and you almost hear it echo again, back to you, again and again. Curandera, are you here? 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 And you hear, I am everywhere.
I think we need to talk.
Find
I just looked at Koja.
At first light.
Find me at first light.
Find me at first light.
I looked at Koja to make sure he did not hear that.
Koja, wisdom or charisma check?
I would like to choose not to hear it, if possible.
Some things we have no choice but to hear when they come from.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You said wisdom or?
Charisma.
Wisdom, whichever one of yours is higher. I want that added to it.
Okay, it's gonna be wisdom. Where did I just had you? Where'd you go? 14.
14. A breeze dances around you, and you do hear something. Something different from what Neza heard. You hear the sound of your brother's voice. Something about where you are right now, the ritual of the Festival of Abundance and coming to the gift at the end of the wet season, something reminds you of him. You remember being here with him before. You remember a year ago how old and frail he was. And you remember how he begged you to take him here because the Festival of Abundance and what we do for the Arapaima is one of his favorite things. Your little brother. Old. Frail. On the wind, what you hear is what he said to you in your memory the last time you were here. You remember the way he looked at you? The old face, almost a mirror of what your face will look when you age. Those old eyes looking right into yours. And the way he said, "Thank you." And that memory moves away, and you see the people around. At that moment, you see at first one Arapaima appear in the shallows, and then another, and then a dozen, and then hundreds of Arapaima appear on the shallows of the gift. And as you recall, this is the males coming to rest, but also it's part of their own demise. The river spirit has called you here, the people of Alma, to catch the Arapaima and release them back into the gift. Otherwise, they stay stranded on the shores and suffocate, an entire generation gone. You see people start to move towards the shallows, standing in front of a group of Arapaima. They're on their sides. They're giant, 500 pounds, and you can see the silver and gold of their scales glistening in that hazy gray filtered light. What we have before us is a skill challenge.
Ooh.
The first question is, do you step forward and participate in this promise made to the river spirits and help the Arapaima?
And that means pushing them back into the water?
It will mean that eventually.
Leo for sure does.
Leo does.
I will, but I'm filled with questions, and I think that, it's occurring to me in this moment, I'm like, why do they come to the shallows if it means that that's where they die? What is that instinct? Why do they do that? And so as I'm wondering that, I am like absentmindedly walking forward. I'm like, oh.
Was that the first time you thought that question?
That's the first time it's ever occurred to me to ask that question. Yeah.
Do I see you doing this? Or
Yeah.
is it visible?
I think like you definitely would see me kind of like like the math lady meme, going like, what is it? But Y is
Yeah,
7
not the
and
math
4.
lady meme.
Roja, I'll be right back, okay? And I'm gonna make my way over to you, and I'm going to turn my back to this display happening here, and just whisper to you, I don't know what's going on in your mind, but can I share with you a thought I just had? Why do I feel like we're the fish?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
My question is, why would a fish swim to where the water isn't?
That's another good question. I don't know.
We'll have to. We should get more coffee later.
We should get more coffee. Is there anything in the temple about the fish?
History check. Anything in the temple about the fish?
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool.
You don't even need to do a history check.
Okay, yeah.
It's well understood, especially in the temple, that there's a reverence for the fish.
Yeah.
That it's believed that this bargain was struck with the river spirits, and it is just one of those, as it's understood, one of those kind of unfortunate instincts that some animals might have that instead lead to their demise rather than to their survival. It's believed that maybe the lake wasn't always exactly like this and that the shallows maybe were less shallow. But we understand that the Arapaima, that the males have spent the entire wet season not eating at all because they've had their fry living in their mouths, and for fear of actually eating their own, they forego eating entirely. We know that their vigilance has kept them from resting, and that at this moment, the fry have finally left. They've finally gotten old enough to fend for themselves, and it's at that moment that the fish, the males, go to the shallows. We understand that they go there to rest, and that unfortunately, their exhaustion gets the better of them, and that leads to their demise. Most certainly would without the intervention of the people from Alma, which is understood as a bargain made with the spirit of the river. Everybody roll for me a nature or arcana check.
Ooh, 5.
16 nature.
16? 15?
13.
13. Catalina, you are pondering this and trying to remember the history and the tales of the Arapaima fish, and you kind of continue to do that math problem for a little bit, but something comes to you, which we'll get to in a second.
I do want to say one really quick thing to Neza.
Yes.
You know how like when you're really tired and you don't make sense? You wouldn't know anything about that. Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
I don't know anything about that.
And as you start to process that, as that starts to land to you, Neza, and you start to wonder, something else comes to you, and it's the wind. It kicks up, and you feel it around you, Neza. You feel it around you, Leo. You feel it around you, Goja. And it's like a breath. And you feel it wrap itself around you. Catalina, you feel something wrap around you as well. Neza, you hear a voice. My son, please. Help us. We need you. Leo, you hear a voice. Mija, you know what you must do. Please don't hesitate. Goja, you hear a voice. Big brother, I believe in you. You will do the right thing. The wind gathers around, and you each hear one collective voice. Catalina, you hear this too. I am everywhere. And something else happens to you, Catalina. You hear that voice continue. Child, you know where you belong. Find me. And before your eyes, you see the image of a giant monarch butterfly, glistening like sun rays bursting through its colorful wings, and then it disappears. People around you are already gathering at the shore. Many are looking at the Arapaima fish, and a lot of people start to yell and shout and give each other orders. And there are fish with no one in front of them right before you. Leo, you move forward and you stand in front of a group of Arapaima fish on their sides. And do you join, Catalina? Neza, do you join? You stand back. Goja, do you join? You do. Skill challenge is this. The Arapaima have just gathered in the shallows, and the people of Alma are working together to save them and release them back into the lake. They need time to restore their strength, otherwise they will be too weak and will die. If you release them too soon, they won't make it because they will not have recovered enough. But they can't be released too late or they will have suffocated. The first test of this skill challenge is for you to examine your fish to determine when it's ready to be returned to the lake. I need an insight or animal handling check from those participating.
Ooh, okay.
And Neza, you're standing back and watching this happen?
I'm looking for whoever the hell is talking to me.
21.
21.
23.
23.
24!
24! You clock these fish expertly. And you are able to examine the rate of the movement of their gills, the breath that they're taking, the look behind their eyes, and you're able to ascertain the precise moment when you can see in their body their vigor and strength return. You know that they start wiggling around as if trying to get back into the lake. You're convinced that right now is the precise time for you to begin to release them. But you also notice a group right next to you, and they're taking a fish out too soon. What do?
I go over and I stop them.
How do you stop them?
They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet.
What do you mean they're not ready? We're running out of time.
No, they need to take a second. They're breathing. It's not steady yet.
Persuasion check, please.
You got it. Oh, 19 plus 4, 23.
19 plus 4, 23.
Wow.
There's something about the demeanor that you have. And this person, it's almost as if this villager was expecting you to come in and be forceful, clear. You get a sense that someone just shouted at them to hurry up, and then you give them pause, and they go, okay.
Watch its breathing. Put a hand on it.
He puts a hand on it.
Do you feel it? It's unsteady.
It's unsteady.
Wait for it to steady, and then it's ready to go back.
I'll wait for it until it's steady, and then that's when it's ready to go back. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? He points at the person right next to him.
And when it wiggles, it's excited. That means it's ready.
We got it. Okay. And it starts wiggling. Oh.
Okay, go.
And they both jump into it. We return to the fish that was ready for you.
I am sorry. I'm back now.
And you recognize that this is clearly at least a two-person job.
Can you help me?
Yes?
Okay.
Great.
I'm here too.
You're busy.
Doing what?
A different one.
The two of you, I need at advantage
Okay.
an athletics check. It's an athletics check.
Okay, you got it. Okay, 13.
13.
17.
17, DC 12, you both pass.
Nice.
Kolja, you have a fish right in front of you, and you know that it needs to go. And you look around and you don't see anybody there at this moment to help you. Do you leave that fish alone, or do you attempt to launch it on your own?
I'm gonna attempt to launch it.
Give me an athletics check at disadvantage.
That's a 2.
A 2. The two of you launch your fish with ease. Kolja, you are struggling. And suddenly you hear a voice next to you that says, wait, you gotta slide it out on its side. That's gonna make it easier. You can use the weight of the water, so you can slide it out. And then when you get to the deeper end, you can turn it. Roll me an insight check.
16.
16. How well do you know Eliseo?
How well do I know Eliseo? I know Eliseo from afar. Eliseo is one of the hunters, right? And I'm not about, Kojas is not a fighter in any stretch of the imagination, and sort of is not repulsed by fighters, but is wary of them a little bit, and also very impressed by their skill. There's something Eliseo does. What does take a liking to me is the sort of alpacas that Leo has, and that's my connection to Eliseo, because Eliseo also.
Yes, Eliseo is absolutely verbally, vocally, openly fascinated by the alpacas.
Yes, and so I recognize his shared love of the alpacas, and we've maybe had a couple of conversations about it, but nothing. I've always ended those conversations with like, oh, gotta do some house stuff, gotta do some stuff around the Alma.
You have an exit strategy when he continues to hold the conversation for longer than you want.
Exactly, yes.
Well, then it sounds like you've heard him talk a lot. And in that case, you will recognize a voice that sounds familiar to you. Sounds a little bit like his. He's not there, but you get to roll that athletics check.
That's a 6.
A 6.
Even with advantage?
The fish is struggling. And yes.
I think, Leo, if we are nearby.
You are right next to each
So
other.
is I mean, if we're still busy pushing, Catalina and I are fish, I would like to see if I can.
You just push that fish out.
Okay, then I'm going to jump in and help.
Wait,
Quolla.
Great.
I'll help too. I'll come with you.
You come in just in time to see that the fish, it's taken just a little bit too long, and now part of the vitality of the fish is starting to fade away. What do you do
I
to
cast
reverse
Healing
that?
Word.
What's it look like when you cast Healing Word?
I similarly as when I put my hands on the ribs of the cadejo, I put my hands on like the gill and I breathe life into it. So this warm orange, fiery sunshine energy goes into the gills to give it more vitality.
And it does. That energy seeps into the fish through the gills, and you can see behind the eyes, the light that was starting to fade away returns. The fish starts to wriggle and move with that vigor, and it's ready for it to be launched out. Yes, Koja?
Question.
Yeah.
Do we see that take place? Like, that magic is
Absolutely.
happening?
You're able to witness that.
In response to what Catalina's doing, I pull back.
Koja steps back. Catalina, you're there, your hands on the fish, it starts to move forward. It's already been taken forward a little bit, just not enough for it to continue to swim on its own into the gift. And with ease, you're able to guide it forward, and it rights itself, and he swims off into the depths of the lake. That is considered a success. Koja, you step back and you see this happen. What do you do next?
I'm muttering to myself.
You're muttering to yourself.
Yes.
Neza, you feel a hand on your shoulder. You turn to see who it is.
Yeah.
You see Elder Arhan standing next to you, his hand on your shoulder. He stands tall and strong, and his deep green eyes are looking at you. Neza, mijo, what is wrong?
Nothing's wrong. I was just looking for Koja.
And he looks over at Koja, and he gestures to him. Our friend Koja is right here.
Right.
Neza, and he leans into you a little bit. Is something troubling you?
I'm not your son. I'm sorry.
As those words escape you, you see no change on his face. He releases his hand and he maintains the look that he gives you, and he says, "That is certainly not the first time I've had somebody say that to me, and it changes my affection for you, not one bit. Neza, the time will come, believe me, when you will find yourself in shoes similar to mine, I have no doubt. And you will find yourself responsible for people in a way, much like I believe you understand yourself to be now, at least in what you do for us. The care that one has for another doesn't have to be reciprocated for it to still have value."
No, but if you live in Alma, it ends when you die, right?
He takes a deep breath. And he looks up at the sky. And then he looks back down at you. Is that what you really believe?
When was the last time you came and visited the cenote?
I visit the cenote all the time. Maybe not my body. but I'm always there. In my dreams. Sometimes what's in the cenote will come to visit you. Sometimes it prefers it that way. But you are right, Neza. You have been spending a lot of time there doing a very good thing for us. And I will come. And I will come to see you.
I think my friend needs me.
He steps away from you and regards you for another moment and then steps away to speak to somebody else, other villagers. Everybody else, there is one more fish in front of you. You've already determined that it's ready to go. It just needs another help. Another push. So one more athletics check, please. And if you're working together, then you get to do it at advantage.
Koya, can you help?
What?
Can you help us? We could use your strength.
Yes, of course.
So we have Leo,
Yep.
we have Catalina, we have Koja, and Neza, you are approaching Koja.
Yeah, I think I caught a glimpse of him muttering to himself, and it looked familiar.
And you see, as you approach him, you see Koja moving towards the final Arapaima fish in front of the group. Do you hang back or do you choose to help?
I'll hang back because he seems to have snapped out of it, so I'll hang back.
Great.
Neza, come over here. Come join us. It'll be better with 4, right?
Yeah, yes, sure. What do I do?
You can stand next to me. We're just gonna push into the water.
Okay.
As the 4 of you do, at this point, 4 of you working on this, you don't even need the check. It's going to move towards the lake effortlessly. As you wade into the shallows and help this fish move forward, something happens. The 4 of you standing in the shallows, just as that last Arapaima fish moves smoothly out of your hands and into the depths of the lake. A flash of white light, and then darkness, and then a mirror with you looking back at yourself. And then it's all gone, and you're back, the 4 of you, in the shallows, hearing cheers, as it appears that in those moments, the task at hand has been accomplished.
Wait, were we together in that flash?
Roll me a wisdom check.
Ooh, mysterious girl. 12.
12?
I believe it's a 15, but let me
15?
double check.
All of us?
Yeah.
Okay.
For whoever wants to try to determine
yeah.
what your experience in that moment
Oh,
was.
Jesus. 5.
5?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wisdom, you said?
Yes, wisdom.
No, that's a 12.
12.
Hey.
That's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Leo, you snap into that and it happens so quickly and you snap right back. And it just is such a quick flash. You don't gather much than what was already described. 12-12? You flash into that. You get to see the mirror and the frame, the vines that grow around it. And you get the sense that maybe you're not alone, or maybe you're remembering a dream and at some point somebody else shows up, and then you snap back. Koja, you move into the dream and it lasts for much longer than time suggests it did at the lake. You're standing there and you can walk around if you want to. Mirrors right in front of you. You see the vines. What do you do?
What am I seeing in the reflection?
You see yourself.
Surrounding me, is there anything?
In the reflection is you, and beyond you is just darkness.
Now, is it the me that I'm seeing currently, blood-soaked, dirty from battle, or is it an idealized version of myself?
As you are wondering that, you see in the mirror an exact reflection of who you were on the edge of the lake, blood-soaked, a little bit messy. And as soon as you think those thoughts, all of that goes away. And you see Koja fresh, clean. And then you start to see Koja a little younger looking.
Oh man.
And then you see in the reflection something shift in the eyes of the person reflected back to you. You almost see a smile. And then you come back and you're at the edge of the lake. Cheers around you as people are celebrating the task that was accomplished. And you notice people around you starting to step back. And their eyes are on the lake. They take another couple steps back. You see Elder Adhan looking towards the waters, looking up at the sky, closing his eyes and taking a deep breath of air. And suddenly you hear a rumbling. This rumbling sound, it's beginning, it seems, in the lake.
Oh.
And you can feel ripples coming from the lake through the water. And this rumbling continues into the land and at the river's bank. And you can feel it underneath your feet.
We should get out of the water.
You move out of the water?
Yeah, I think I grab you and maybe,
Leo will walk out.
We should get out of the water.
And those of you that move out of the water, you take steps back. You can see around that everybody else has moved out of the water and they're just a couple of feet back onto the land. And that rumbling continues until you see this happen. Dozens out of the hundreds of the Arapaima that were just returned to the gift in a sudden rush leap back out onto the shore. And they land at the feet of the people. It is an offering of the Arapaima, as some of them give themselves to the people of Alma in return for saving them from suffocating. The gift that they give is of themselves, and the reason why this place is named the Gift. Their life to help sustain yours in exchange for helping save an entire generation. Hunters! Calls out Adhan. And many from the hunters group step forward, short sword in hand, each taking position in front of one of the Arapaima. Leo, you see your father, Santiago, give you a proud nod. And you see ahead of you the fish that you are meant to be positioned in front of. Do you step forward?
Yes.
As the hunters take their place, Leo, you notice no one is at the Arapaima to your left. This sort of sense of what's been happening hits you and you realize that's Eliseo's place. Azune comes by, almost as if he has that same thought that you just had, Leo. Looks at that Arapaima, his head tilts a little bit. He's on his way to another one. And he pulls out a short sword and he looks at those that are around and he offers. We appear to be missing someone. Is anyone willing to? Catalina, you shoot your hand up. He hands you a short sword. And he moves on.
I'll wave her next to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna like wait for you to start.
Leo waves her over. You got this. Let's go. Okay. I also don't have my short sword, so I'm gonna use the hand axe
that's
that I have.
right. You have it still.
Because Neza still has it.
That's great.
Yeah.
You take position and the atmosphere becomes quiet and solemn. Adhan himself, standing in front of one of the Arapaima, he places the point of his short sword at the center of the fish's head. He calls out as he looks up one more time. We accept this blessing, River Spirit. In great Arapaima, we will honor your sacrifice. We accept the gift. And then he drives a sword through the Atapaima's head, giving him a quick and painless end. Around you, hunters and others that are in that same position do the same thing. Leo?
Yep.
You do the same.
I'll do
Catalina?
the same. What, do I need to roll anything?
No.
Okay.
It's just driving that down.
I like put a hand on its like eye.
Wind picks up. And you almost hear the valley taking a breath and let out a sigh. Odd Hand stands up and he reaches a hand out as if he is touching something in the air. Takes a moment and he says, "The river spirit is pleased with us. And we thank you, river spirit. We will continue to uphold this promise that was made by our ancestors." And he steps back. Other people start to move forward and they start to gather the Atapaima fish. It's very quiet, it's very solemn. It's got a weight to it. Over 100 Atapaima were saved from the shallows and taken back into the gift. And then about a little over a dozen leapt back out. And those are the ones that are now being taken, moved onto a wagon, meant to be taken back to Alma. Their scales harvested, the only source of metal in Alma. It's shaped into weapons, it's shaped into jewelry, into armor. The meat is harvested, some of which will be consumed at the festival tonight. The rest of it will be preserved and consumed throughout the year. The Atapaima fish are never hunted, they're never fished. It's not very easy to pierce this armor. It is only at this time of year that the Atapaima can be acquired. Great reverence is paid. At this moment, what do you do?
I want to go immediately to Neza and say, which fish do you think we are?
I think in Neza's brain, what has just happened, it's like I watched each person stick the point of their bladed weapon into this fish, and I saw an explosion of blood, and I saw the blood trickle into the water, and I saw the fish gasping its last breath, and I see all of that simultaneously, and when you come up to me, I break, and I get sick, and I turn around, and I go to a tree line, and I relieve myself of my sickness, because I've seen this for 20 plus years, and it's never occurred to me that what we're doing is murderous. And that voice is in my brain, and it felt like they were killing my parents again. And I can't convey that to you, but what you see when you come up to me is I visibly am sick and have to remove myself.
Do I smell? Are you okay? I like call out to you as you're like throwing up in the tree line.
I'm gone.
Oh.
Or somewhere
Yeah,
in the tree line there. Yeah, I don't think I leave, but I don't want to be there.
Leo?
I think I'll go back to find my dad and just say, are you okay with everything that happened on the way here?
You do find your dad, and he looks at you and he says, what do you mean? Do you mean the Cadejos?
Yeah.
Oh, I am Some people are a little bit uncertain about what happened, but I feel fine. Should I
Great.
not be? I mean,
No, I just wanted to make sure you were okay and
are
had
you
stayed
okay?
out of
Are
it.
you hurt?
No, I'm totally
I
fine.
know that you did battle with him. Are you?
Yeah, but it was fine.
Incredible.
And he lets out this boisterous, proud laugh.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Of course you
No
are.
big deal.
I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
I'm okay, Mia.
Glad to hear it.
And he goes to help gather some of the Arapaima. They are heavy. It's a 2-person job to pick them up and move them to the wagons. Koja, before you see Teo walk by, the blacksmith. Probably the only person here who's able to actually carry an Arapaima fish on his shoulders on his own. And he is moving heavy steps towards a wagon. And he looks at you and he notices you and he says, "We've got quite the haul, my friend. We begin scale work tonight."
Yes, yes, I'm looking forward to it.
And he moves past you towards the wagon. And as he walks by, Koja, you notice Odessa nearby. She glances at you, having caught what Teo just said. And you remember her offer to give you lessons in druid craft. She sighs and walks towards her granddaughter, Nayin. Off to the side, Neza, have you emerged from where you relieved yourself of your sickness?
Yes. Yeah.
Coming back,
Yeah.
it's unmistakable. You notice Elitza
Yeah, thank God you did that.
and Esperanza having a deep talk. Esperanza notices you, Neza, shoots daggers at you, and with the flick of her wrist, a wall of earth goes up in front of them like a conjured privacy screen.
I deserve that. I deserve that. I'm such an idiot.
Catalina,
Yeah.
you see Arden approaching you.
Arden, okay, so
yes, yes.
what was this one? What did the spinning part? It was like, we need to talk, and then the spinning part, I'm on the way back? Is that what it meant?
No, we need to talk soon.
Oh, soon!
Yeah. This is soon.
Soon! All
Right?
Mhm, yes.
Because
Yes,
my
so,
fingers are
rapid.
moving over each other in
time
the forward
is moving
motion.
faster,
And
yes.
so,
Anyway, hi.
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 So I just want you to know that I've been thinking about what you said earlier, and I don't remember it all. But what I do remember, I don't know if I agree.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you, I mean, what were you saying earlier?
We were saying, well, we were asking about why we train so
Why
much
we
and
train
we don't
so
know, but
hard. I
also
remember that
the
part.
water.
The water,
Why
yes.
am I the only one that has to bring the water to the
yes, you're
fountain?
always the one that has to take the water out, and I do agree with that because I'd rather it be you than me. But what I don't agree
is a long walk.
we train for what is unexpected, right?
That's what
What happened today?
was unexpected.
Right.
Was very unexpected.
Right.
How are you? Are
I
you
feel
okay?
great.
Great.
I feel like I
Great.
knew what to do, and I
when it
was
came,
useful.
And it was, and we knew what to do, but like, who came up with the regimen? What did they know?
Catalina, why do you gotta have more
Sorry,
questions?
I just, when I get, I don't know, sometimes I like get an answer and then I think about it and then I have another question and I don't know if I'm supposed to ask the question.
Can sometimes maybe you could just have an answer to a question and not have another question? Because then when you have a question and you give me that question, then it becomes a question that I have.
But, well, maybe that's a good thing.
I think asking questions is really exhausting.
Why?
It makes me confused.
Oh.
It makes me question things.
Why? Wait. Sorry.
I think I have a headache.
I'm sorry.
Can we talk later?
Later,
Wait.
and I like spin.
And he
the
does the same
fingers
spinny
backwards,
motion.
but slower. Yeah.
And
Later.
He catches himself as he said later, and he was doing the same spinny motion.
Wait, so is it soon or is it later?
I can understand why that's confusing, yes. I guess I
Time's
don't need
kind
the
of
hand
overlapping
gesture.
on top of itself.
Let's talk later.
Okay.
And he lets out a sigh, and he kind of like crumples a little bit, and he's just sort of shakes off this, like, his brain hurts right now. And
Am I bad at talking? I wonder to myself.
You wonder to yourself, or does
Yeah.
any of that escape your mouth?
I probably am saying it out loud because that's who I am.
And Arden stops, and he turns back, and you can see on his face, he's just like, Oh.
Am I bad at talking? Neza threw up and your face looks sad.
Neza threw up? Does he need healing?
I don't know.
Is he sick? Neza!
Oh yeah, Neza!
No.
You hear Arden calling for you. You hear in his voice that he is absolutely ready and willing to heal you if you need to be healed. And it's going to be invasive and it's going to be a lot and too much.
What did you tell him?
Just that you weren't feeling well.
I'm feeling fine.
Okay, well you did throw up.
I did.
He approaches you, he sees you, he takes one momentary read, and then he says, "You seem fine."
Oh,
and he
okay.
walks away.
It's just asleep. You're not bad at talking to people. There's a lot of talking happening in my brain sometimes. And
You hear it too?
what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Are you two talking?
Yes. Do
No.
you hear things that you can't see?
Well, I came here to talk to you, Catalina, about
Oh,
that.
Are you hearing something too?
I'm hearing the dead. Are you hearing the dead?
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this here. And I'm going to look around. Is anyone looking at us, listening to us
The
particularly?
only person that happens to be near you, for whatever reason, is Leo. Other people are nearby, but they're all in the middle of doing stuff. They're all getting themselves together to head back to Alma. People are still collecting the fish. They're sitting around, some people talking, laughing, rejoicing. They're returning to Alma slowly, but they're definitely at their leisure.
Leonara. Leo. You prefer Leo?
Leo's, yeah, great.
Leo, I think we need you.
Why?
Because I felt really safe with you out there, and I'm feeling a little unsafe at this moment.
Did you see something else?
No, it's what I heard.
Oh. I've been hearing things too.
The
Who have
Culandera
you
said,
been hearing?
yeah.
I mean, mainly Eliseo, Catalina heard him with me.
but there's others.
Others?
Who did you hear?
Well, there's one that I've been hearing for a long time, and I don't know who they are, but they keep telling me that I know where I belong.
Leo's sort of looking at her knowingly, I think.
Yeah.
Something
You know who
happened.
it is.
Do I?
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
No. Well, something is starting to happen, but it's not preventing you from finishing what
Yeah,
you're about to
who
say.
did you hear?
What?
Who did you hear?
That's not important. Right
It is important. I'm sorry, but it is important. Who did you hear? Were they alive or were they dead?
No, they were dead. It was my brother. I heard him.
It was my parents.
You knew who you were.
I don't know which one, but it felt like mom or dad.
I mean,
They're dead.
I think I heard my father, who's alive.
But you also heard Eliseo, which means
He's probably.
You hear something in that moment, and it's Eliseo's voice, as if he's huddled there with you, and he says, "Well, I heard something too." And in that moment, the wind picks up again. Here's what happens. There are going to be a number of things that are going to start to happen, and I need to understand how well you are all going to be able to keep up with what is unfolding. So first, I need from you all a perception check.
Okay.
The next two skill checks that I'm going to have you do are going to determine how you understand the things that are about to unfold. You must pass the first check to attempt the second check. Two out of the four of you need to pass both checks for this challenge to be a win.
We got this. We got this.
Perception check.
6.
6, 5.
17.
17!
17. Great. You're in mid-conversation. You hear that voice. It sounds like Eliseo. The wind kicks up. And Leo, that voice, it's coming to you. It seems to be quite often. And it takes your attention. Catalina, you are distracted by the people around you. I need you to roll me an insight check.
Okay. 17 plus 4, 21.
17 plus 4, 21. Great. I'll explain what's happening to you in a second. Neza and Koja. Well, you all hear this regardless of the success or lack thereof. You hear something like the sound of glass cracking. Those of you that passed, Neza, Koja, you notice before you see what looks like cracks in the air as if it were on glass. First, you see a pinpoint with a small fracture moving outward. Your eyes follow that crack and it starts to spread across the space in front of you. Catalina, your eyes are not noticing this at all. Your eyes are actually on the people around you with that insight check. I'm gonna allow you to be clocked in with the people around you. You're going to be able to cast guidance as they set forth to do something because they will give you the tell that they're about to focus on an action. That crack that your eyes follow, that spreads across the space, you notice it starts to open. Pieces of the reality that is right in front of you continue to fracture. But then, I need an Arcana check or a Nature check. From those of you that succeeded only,
Please.
you are able
guidance.
to cast guidance on one.
I have a +0 to
+0? What do you?
For what?
What for Arcana? Was that what they're doing?
Specifically Arcana or Nature?
Arcana or Nature.
I have +3
We're both.
for just Nature.
I'll do Arcana.
I'll do guidance.
Before you roll, I would like for you to describe how your guidance manifests and who it's going to be impacting.
Yeah, I send it to Neza, and I think my guidance, as I'm like looking at the people and I'm like trying to figure out what I can do to help, I think I can sense there's uncertainty in Neza for what's about to happen, and so I think he's like, you got this.
Just as you're about to cast it, something else happens. You see across from you somebody else stepping forward, a flute in her hand, and she starts to play a melody. It's Elitza. Around you, Neza, you feel this sweet melody, and it enters your body as she too has been watching what was going on over here, and you receive bardic inspiration just in time for you to decide last minute who you're going to give that guidance to. You can give it to Neza, and it will stack with bardic inspiration, or you can give it to
I will give it to
Koja.
Koja.
Great.
Yeah.
And now,
You got this.
what's that look like?
I think, as I see Elitza coming to support, I'm like, okay, they are going to get married, and I'm going to have to prepare that at some point. I think I look to Koja, and knowing, how locked away he was in that moment, I kind of turn my focus then to him. And again, I don't know what's about to happen, but I know you can do this.
Give me that Arcana check, please.
Do I see her?
Arcana or Nature?
Do I feel?
You
feel it,
feel
I
her
don't see her?
first. You feel her first, and you are in mid-moment assessing the sort of natural or magical energy of what you're perceiving in these cracks. But you feel her. You know precisely what this energy is.
15.
15.
That is a 14.
14 meets it, beats it. 14 was the DC. The both of you move on, succeeding in that second skill check. And as your eyes, Neza and Koja, you catch this, you're keeping up with this. And Catalina and Leo, you start to notice how their behavior changes, and then you track what it is that's taking their attention. And because of that, I needed two of you to succeed for all of you to succeed. You're all able to notice the following.
Wow.
That fracture that started to crack open, pieces of reality that's right in front of you, they continue to split and fracture, and then suddenly that fracturing stops. And then it looks like that seam that started to open up right in front of you is pressed back together. That seam, pressed back together, is closed. And it dawns on you that there is a kind of tug of war that's happening right now between two very different powerful forces. One that is trying to break through, and another one that is trying to stop that breaking from happening. You have a moment with each other. What do? You see on each other's faces that you are all aware of the same thing. Elitza approaches, and she seems to be aware of that as well.
Are we meant to open it or
I don't know.
seal it
I
forever?
don't know.
I'm going to try and reach for the seam. Can I see it? Can I see it?
Roll me a dexterity check.
Oh, guidance. Sorry,
Yes,
sorry,
you got
guidance.
it. You're
guidance,
anticipating. You have
guidance.
that. You have that.
Guidance.
Is it a D4 or D6?
D4.
That's 18 plus 4 to 21, right?
Sorry.
Amazing.
22.
That crack is
22.
starting to disappear, and there's just one tiny little bit left, about an inch and a half, and you grab it, you almost feel it inside of your hand, and then it pulls away from you and disappears. And then something else happens. You hear another crack, like lightning is heard, exactly like what started this fracture in front of you. And it's followed by another, and it's followed by another. As you look around, you see more breaks appearing. Suddenly, in the distance, one of those breaks shatters open. And not too far away, you see, reaching through that break are two large hands. They're grabbing at the edges of this now open portal, and you see this figure pull itself through. It's hunched over as it stepped into the area of the gift. It straightens up, and you see only what you can describe as an abomination. Sniffing the air, scanning the villagers. And as that happens, you're hit with the smell of rot and decay and the metallic scent of fresh blood. You see on this creature's torso faces, as if they're trapped inside the creature, trying to push themselves out of the creature's body. The faces twist and writhe in pain. They're screaming. Yet no sound escapes from where they're trapped. More and more breaks in reality form, and suddenly there are abominations everywhere pulling themselves through that portal, demonic and decaying, with rage in their eyes and faces, writhing in their bodies, screaming their silent, agonized screams that nobody can hear. In the distance, you can already hear the cries of people getting cut down. You catch in your sight one abomination facing Elder Adhan. He steps forward and he swings his sword, already going on the offensive, trying to strike at that creature that's 10 feet tall with horns that reach out 3 feet off the top of his head. His gray skin housing all those faces, moving around, writhing. In his hand, a large and twisted blade. Adhan's swing is easily deflected by the monster. The monster's jagged blade slashes Adhan across the chest, and then with the second strike, he drives his sword into Elder Adhan.
What?
The abomination lifts the impaled Adhan up with his sword, and as Adhan's own weight slides him down the blade, he turns to the rest of the people from Alma, and he yells, "Run!" Roll me initiative. I'm going to explain to you what you are stepping into, or what, rather, is stepping out of another reality and onto you. Because of what you have all gathered, your perception checks, at Arcana check, those successes, you have been able to keep pace with what was happening. As overwhelming and as chaotic as all that was, you've been able to track the sequence of events so far. You hear Adhan yell, "Run." And it becomes clear to you that defeating these abominations here is not an option.
Yeah.
What is fleeing and buying people around you extra precious moments so that they might escape death. This is a skill challenge in combat dressing. The question is, who will you be able to save?
Actually, terrible. Actually, you're mean.
Who will you be able to save?
I need to place your minis. This is not a standard combat, even though what we will be doing will be calling upon abilities that we might use in combat.
Able to save. You got this? You okay?
Yes. Although we're calling upon abilities that we might use in combat, because this is a skill challenge, the flavor around it and how they precisely do what they do is going to slightly shift, as well as your exact positioning.
Okay.
So use this battle map rather than an actual battle map terrain. It's just meant to be a visual representation. We don't actually have to move our minis around. We
Okay.
just have that there so that we can understand
What's going
more
on.
visually what's going on.
Okay.
And what is going on right now is that you see before you an abomination who had just gotten out of the rift, has kicked Teo, the scalesmith, the blacksmith, down on the ground right before you.
No!
Because you've been able to keep up due to your successes earlier, you have a moment to intervene. Otherwise, you would have witnessed the demise of Teo. Before him, that abomination has just kicked him down to the ground, and he starts to move toward him. What do you do?
Okay.
Let me know your initiative.
18.
18,
9.
9.
14.
1.
Oh, me oh my. That is
Yeah.
Interesting.
Terrible. Yeah, no, you can say terrible.
Leo. What was yours again, Catalina?
14.
14. Neza.
9.
And we have Goja. Great.
My God.
Around you, amidst the chaos, you see a couple of familiar faces that are taking in this information. Not far from you is Azune. Not far from you is also Elitza. Elitza takes a couple of steps back as she sees what's going on.
Smart.
And you have this abomination starting to step forward, about to strike Teo, who's just been kicked to the ground. Leo, you're up first.
Can I first try to see where my dad is?
Good call.
You catch him actually in the distance, maybe some 80 to 100 feet beyond what you're looking at right now. So he's past Teo and past this abomination, about probably
way?
actually 150 feet. Yes, moving that in that direction.
Okay.
But there's so many people and so much going on. You catch a glimpse of him and then you lose him because there's so many people in between you and
Okay.
him.
And then just to have it clear, are people seemingly running towards the town or just scattering anywhere they can?
Right now, all you hear around you is chaos, and you can tell that some people are starting to try to run, but there's abominations all around you, and there's people that are in danger.
Okay, well, first thing I'm gonna do then is I'm going to shoot at the abomination that's about to attack Teo to hopefully prevent him from making that strike.
Great. You can ascertain, your hunter's keen senses let you know that this abomination is about 30 feet away from him. You draw an arrow and you aim with your longbow. Go ahead and fire your shot.
13.
13 on that one is enough.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll damage. The abomination that's in front of you is not wearing any armor. Their torso is completely exposed, and what you see is those faces that are writhing in pain, trying to squeeze themselves out. Damage?
Sweet. 11.
11 points of damage total.
'cause I rolled an
Your arrow sticks right into the torso, right next to one of those writhing faces, and the damage that you've just dealt, you can tell, seems to have very little effect.
Cool.
But what you notice is the other property of your longbow. It slows him down.
Right.
He loses momentum, and that buys Teo just enough time to roll himself over and out of harm's way. He moves towards the back.
Great.
What now catches the group's attention is another villager that's in danger. You see Maya, the herbalist. She's frozen in fear. Her granddaughter, Nail, is cowering behind her. A creature stands before them, smaller in stature than the other abominations, but this one has these threads of thick, fleshy membrane stretched tightly over its mouth. It's about to swipe at them with claw-like nails. What do you do? Next up is Catalina.
Okay, how far away am I?
They're about 30 feet away
Cool,
from
I'm
you.
gonna move and I'm gonna put my shield up in front of them
Great.
and take the strike.
And take the strike yourself.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
you're going to move in front of them, and you're going to be there.
AC 15.
AC 15. It's going to then strike at you. That is a 17 to hit.
Ah, okay, I'll take it.
You're going to be taking 5 points of damage.
Okay.
This creature, aiming to strike with its claw-like nails at Maya the herbalist, you see this woman. She's older. She's got gray, straight hair, and you all know her. She is the herbalist that makes different concoctions. Some of them that can help focus your mind. Some of them that can help ease you to sleep. And cowering in fear, frozen in fear with her granddaughter behind her, suddenly a shield intercepts. What does your shield look like?
Oh, it's a big, round, ornate. It's actually in the shape of the flower. What's the passion fruit flower?
The maracuya flower.
Yeah. So I hold it up and I turn back to her and I say, "Well, you heard him! Run!"
And you take the damage, and they do exactly that. They take off running. Nail runs all the way to the road, and you lose sight of her. And Maya, before you lose sight of her, she turns around and does something. So far, we have 2 successes, and we've saved 3 villagers: Nail and Maya. Maya, the herbalist, and Nail, her granddaughter who loves flowers. This is who you've just saved for Alma. And Teo, the scalesmith, an expert at crafting and metalwork. Teo, as he runs back, turns around, stops, and joins you.
Whoa.
The next action has advantage because Teo is going to be working alongside that person to help make it happen. Maya, as she's fleeing, she turns around and she casts guidance on you, Koja.
Ooh.
You have just received the boon of the people of Alma.
Nice.
In the distance, you see High Priestess Itzel, the figure far, far, far on the edge, but imagine that she is hundreds of feet further down. You see High Priestess Itzel in the distance, about 200 feet away. She is taking in what's happening. You see her send a warding flare just as an abomination attacks a villager. The sudden bright light from her magic causes the creature to miss and allows the villager to flee. Then she sends a guiding bolt to another abomination, and it illuminates in bright light as impact is made, and you see that abomination is barely shaken.
Ooh. Ooh.
You hear a pained cry come from a short distance away in another direction. You turn to see a man. A hole ripped completely through his chest from an energy blast. This is Talo, the leather worker and the bark cloth worker. His dark wavy hair falls on his face as his body hits the floor. You are all likely wearing something that his hands had helped make. Talo's body crumples to the ground. His only daughter, Naya, who just started apprenticing under him, watches in horror 80 feet away. Talo, the bark cloth and leather worker, this is who Alma just lost. In front of you, another abomination is making another move. Actually, the same one that just claimed Talo's life with that energy blast turns towards his next victim. His next victim is here as this abomination turns and faces Odessa. A twisted hand reaches out from the sleeve of his worn gray robes. You notice 2 patches sewn onto his robes that stand out to you. One, a faded sapphire blue, the other, a faded ruby red. He extends a hand towards Odessa, about to conjure another blast. Neza, it's your turn.
Okay, my brain broke because Neza doesn't know what I know. Okay, who did that?
This abomination here, who is wearing tattered gray robes with a patch of sapphire and ruby, most of his skin is covered, but in the little bit that's exposed, you can see that there's wriggling and writhing. You get a hint of faces on his torso as well. And he's about.
You are diabolical.
I mean, come on, you knew. You knew.
His
You knew.
hand is extended out, and it looks very clearly that he's about to blast Odessa.
Odessa.
Not Odessa. No.
You're about 30, 20 feet away. You're within reach to make something happen.
Come on.
And I have advantage or guidance or
Yeah,
something?
you have advantage.
Teo is right next to you, and he's in sync with you.
You have advantage.
So whatever it is that you do, Teo is going to join in and help you.
No, he's not. Or at least I hope not. Get her out of here, Elitsa. Get her to
He's
safety.
and he knows who Elitza is. Roll a persuasion check.
Ooh.
Now, I don't have advantage on this one?
On this, you don't. Okay. The persuasion check is, he's not going to help you persuade him.
3.
Himself. A 3. Everything is too chaotic. And you speak those words, but the look on his face tells you he absolutely did not hear what you just said.
Aww.
And he starts to move towards Odessa. He looks behind you, and what do?
I grab Elitza. We have to get out of here.
You do. Great. You move to Elitza, and she's looking at you, and you go to grab her, and she says, "What are you doing?"
We have to get out of here.
We have to help the villagers. What do? Why are you abandoning them? You're capable of helping them, and I'm going to help them. And she breaks free.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Help me help them, Neza. Or do you want to have a cenote that's full of more dead?
Okay, I run towards I run towards the gentleman with the ruby and the sapphire.
And what is it that you're going to attempt to do?
Okay.
You want to? You can do.
I'm going to cut his hand off. I'm going to attempt to cut his hand off.
Oh
Great.
my God.
You run towards him, and right next to you, you feel Tail joining you. I would like for you to give me an athletics check at advantage.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Nat 20!
For
Oh my
24.
goodness. I would like for you to describe to me.
My gosh.
Yeah.
God damn. I want you to describe to me. We're going to work together on this. We're going to workshop this together because a lot's about to happen. But tell me how this begins, and then I will tell you how it continues.
Great question.
How it begin? I need a shot of tequila.
Do we have that? Because that would be great.
We should get that for next time.
Okay, so I yelled at Dale to take Elitza from this place. He didn't hear me. I turned to Elitza to try and intervene because I know that the only thing I care about that's left here is actually her.
Dang.
And she shakes me out of that and runs toward. Where did she go? She ran towards this thing?
No, she didn't run towards the thing. It's you and Teo that have both run towards this abomination. She's back in the distance.
Okay, so in that
So
moment.
she's not in immediate
So
danger.
she shakes off and she goes away, and I'm looking for the hummingbird. I'm looking for that. And because I don't know what is happening here, but I know that that is the last thing that made me feel like I did know what I was doing. And I'm looking for the hummingbird, and I think for a moment I see it flash behind this gentleman with gentleman,
the
this
scythe.
abomination.
Calling him a gentleman.
The abomination with
Thank
the
you.
scythe.
It's a
Call him by his true name.
Yes. And,
Pronouns
and-
Obama
Nation.
Nation.
Abomination.
Okay?
Yes, and I take that to mean we have to attack.
Oh.
And so with I let Teo move forward, and that stops me, and I take your short sword and I toss it at his hand.
You toss it at his hand.
Yes.
And
Nat 20. Just want to say.
oh, I know. You toss it at his hand. His hand is extended forward. You can see the energy start to gather in the palm of his hand as an Eldritch Blast is about to get released. And your sword catches it right in his forearm, and it causes his arm to fly to the side. The blast goes flying in another direction. Teo is then in place to tackle this guy to the ground.
Nice.
And now this abomination is prone.
Nice. Prone.
Teo immediately
Good.
stands back up and moves back 10 feet. You have successfully saved Odessa.
Yay. Odessa.
Odessa, who has one of the oldest elders in Alma, for many, many decades has been teaching the young children druidcraft, their first words, the first arithmetic. She has had an imprint on almost everybody, and she continues to do that today for all the children, big or small. She flees
Tagged in this
into
photo, and I'd like not to
safety.
be.
And you see, as she flees, and she goes off down the road. Odessa's safe.
Yay.
This is who you have saved for Alma.
Yay.
You notice something else. The large abomination that struck down Arhan is now moving towards somebody
Is that a
else.
euphemism? Struck like is
dead.
Dead?
Fully
or
dead.
like
He's sleeping. He's
He
sleeping.
put him down
he's
for nap time.
okay.
He's sleeping.
Eternal nap time.
Yeah, the forever sleeping.
Forever sleep.
Right.
That large abomination that struck down Elder Arhan draws a thorny, twisted javelin, and he hurls it over to Arden.
No. No.
Koja, you're up. What do you do?
Really?
No.
Oh God.
No. No.
I'd like to scope out the place. There are like shards of glass here. Yes. Oh, first, I'd like to detect magic just to see what the surrounding is.
You don't even have to. The things that are magical in this area, I think, are gonna the shards, the breaks in glass. A lot of them have actually sealed up.
Okay.
So the opening was made, and once what was meant to cross through that opening, once that crossed through, that opening had started to seal up.
I want to, because magic exists in all forms. I'm
Yes,
like
in many
looking at
forms.
these creatures and trying to decipher what specific kind of magic is it? Is it like, is it magic coming from nature itself? Is it magic coming from like a dark realm? Is it magic coming from like sort of like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to,
Conjuration,
I'm just trying to figure out exactly
What the source of this kind
the source of
magic
the
is.
creature. I mean, I've never seen these
No.
things before in my
The
life.
thing that strikes you all, I will give this to everybody for free.
Cool.
Whereas when you faced off with the Cadeos, you faced off with a familiar foe. You have never seen anything like this before. You've never heard of stories of anything like this before. The second you try to figure out and try to make sense out of this, there's another part of your mind that says, there's no way to know.
Okay.
I'm going to allow for you to cast Detect Magic for what you think you're going to be ascertaining. What does it look like when you cast Detect Magic?
I take a deep breath, and then I kneel down to the ground, and I press my palms to the earth, and instinctively ask the earth, the nature that has saved my life once, and ask it
That's cool.
again.
Time slows down for you as you beseech the natural world and the natural spirits for insight on what is happening right now. You touch your hands to the ground and you feel yourself connect to the earth. Waves of earth ripple through the ground and make their way to that abomination that is threatening Arden. And all along the way, all around you, ping, 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 you see magic resonance on every single one of these abominations. You see magic resonance in the air, like dust on the wind, like floating glitter, sparks of silver and gold. You realize that in this moment, with what's happening now, this connection that you have established with the magic of the natural world, that the people of Alma are here alongside the spirit of the river,
Oh.
dancing on the wind and showing itself in the sparks and the glitter that's floating around you. And you, as that wind picks up, you hear the voice say, "Help me." And you have a split second to act on that.
Do I know where that is coming from?
It sounds like it's coming from the direction where Arden is.
I'd like to get closer to Arden.
You can get right next to him. This abomination is about to, you see, this abomination is about to launch this javelin, this twisted-looking javelin, in Arden's direction, and Arden has no idea it's coming.
Okay, so I would like to get close enough, not so close, that I can cast Thorn Whip and try to use the whip to grab the javelin to pull it closer.
To decapitate her. No? No?
To decapitate
I did that already.
Just like, you can do that again. I love gore. You get close enough and you conjure the Thorn Whip. I need for you to roll me a spell attack. So you
Spell
can.
attack.
So it's I believe your D20 with your wisdom modifier, but because this is a skill check dressed in combat, and you're not aiming to attack the creature. This is more of a skill check. You are allowed to use the guidance that was bestowed upon you all earlier.
15.
15. I would like. Did you add the D4 to it?
Okay.
I saw what it was.
Okay.
It was a 4.
4. Yeah,
Yes.
Total of 19.
Yay!
Just as that javelin is about to leave his hand, your thorn whip is conjured with such precision. How do you describe what happens next?
Okay. This is what you could tell me if this is too much, but as I listen to nature, the spirits, I feel complete. Before I was fighting that side of myself, shunning away from that, and I realized that the only way for me to survive this and save people that I care about is to surrender to the power of nature.
Wow!
And as I do that without thinking, because I have to deactivate my brain in order to really process what's going on, I summon my thorn whip and I lash out at the javelin, wrap it around it, and pull as hard as I can. As I'm pulling, I spin it around to let it go one revolution to release and aim at that abomination.
Your thorn whip catches that javelin, and it does exactly what you described. You spin it around like a lasso almost, and you attempt to send it right back to the abomination that just released it. I'm going to ask for, this is a very precise move. Give me a dexterity check.
So 16 and 14.
Whoa.
14,
Wow.
So 16 total.
16 total. The javelin spins around, and it does get released towards that abomination, and it actually does graze his thigh. And it causes him pause as he looks down and looks around and wonders what it was that just caused this to happen to him. And
Rivalry in the making. Rivalry in the making.
It's like the Night King.
with a natural 20,
No way!
he looks over in your direction
And that's it.
and
End of the
scans the group that's over there, and that's all you notice.
match.
Arden, though, has been saved. Arden, an acolyte from the temple, always eager to lend a helping hand, is saved.
Yay!
He rushes back and joins the rest of the group because as a trained acolyte, he's not going to retreat. And what he does when he gets there, rather than fleeing battle, turns around and joins you all. And as he does, this swirling silvery energy surrounds you all, and you feel yourself emboldened as the effects of the Bless spell takes hold on each of you, granting you an extra D4 to attack rolls and saving throws. In the distance, you see Priestess Itzel. Priestess Itzel sends out another warding flare to protect a villager. The bright light from that ward causes the abomination that was about to strike down a villager to miss. That villager flees towards the road. You see Priestess Itzel then conjure a pulse of healing energy. She moves towards some wounded hunters and acolytes as a group of abominations move in on them, and she casts Mass Healing Word. As some of those wounded hunters and acolytes stand up again and return to the fight.
Badass.
Perception check, everybody.
Don't love that. Do not love that. Okay.
If you want to use your Bardic Inspiration, you can.
It's for checks too, the
This
bless, or no?
bless is for attack rolls and saving throws,
Okay,
not
got
for
it.
checks.
7. Wait. 9.
18.
Yes.
9.
8.
18. 7. Great. Neza, Koja, Catalina. The chaos around you is starting to become a little bit much, but you do catch from your periphery something in the air. You can't quite make out what it is because immediately your focus is pulled back into what's happening on the battlefield. Leo, you're able to keep track of what's happening on the battlefield, and you look up, and from your periphery, you can see a swarm of monarch butterflies heading your way. 100 or more. Their foot-long wingspans pulsing with a glowing light. And you all hear a sudden crack from off to the side. You turn to see a female figure, another abomination. She wears a tattered and faded red tunic and robes with gold embroidery. A golden pendant hangs around her neck. She stands over the crumpled body of a woman that you all know. Her quarterstaff jammed into the woman's crushed clavicle. The woman you recognize is Elida, the new hunter's recruit who is eager to take on her first assignment out into the wilds. The abomination puts a hand over Elida's chest and begins to pull from it a glowing white wispy form, which the abomination then takes and presses against her chest. On an exposed part of the abomination's torso where you see faces writhing and twisting, you see a new face appear, one that looks a lot like Elida's.
No!
I need you all to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, jeez.
As what you have just witnessed starts to shake you to your core.
So
This I can use bless.
You can use bless for the saving throw, and you can use bardic inspiration for it as well.
Yeah, all right.
this is a what the fuck check?
Okay,
Yes.
so that's
Wisdom
7 plus
saving throw?
4 plus, so 7 plus 5, 12.
12,
Just 10 for me.
10,
18.
18,
So that's a 9 plus. I'm going to use my D6 for the bonus. Okay, 14.
14, 14, 18, 10,
12.
12. Neza and Koja, the frightening presence of this abomination and what you've just witnessed it do to Elida is disturbing. It shakes you. But something helps you stay grounded. What is it that comes to your mind that helps you keep your presence of mind, Neza?
Koja. I'm terrified, but I look to Koja and see that he hasn't left, and so I'm not leaving.
Koja, what is it that helps ground you?
The line of people waiting, ready for action. We've come together as a town, and there's no turning back.
You have. Catalina, you waver for a moment. Something returns to you. A disturbing thought. What does regret feel like to you?
Oh,
What does it look like to you?
regret to me is every time I looked to where I wanted to go and looked to where I had to go, and I went that way instead.
Oh,
Every time you've seen a fork in the road and you chose what was demanded of you versus what you longed for. You see before you as you watch Elida's wispy white energy become absorbed by this abomination, you see before you another fork in the road. You could run, or you could stay. And you wrestle in your mind for a moment. Which is the choice that you want to make, and which is the choice that's being demanded of you? And at this moment, you can't quite tell.
Yep.
You are subjected to the frightened condition. Leo, your attention is pulled from this abomination, and you have in your mind, where's my father? Where's my father? Where's my father? And a wave of fear hits you. As you turn away from this abomination, you do find your father.
I swear to God, Luis.
Leo, you see your father Santiago being picked up by another large horned abomination. Your father Santiago had put himself in front of a group of children that the monster was rushing towards. The creature's nostrils flare as he lifts your father up with one arm and slams him into a boulder below. You are subjected to the frightened condition. And as you see your father's body meet that stone, there are other villagers in danger. Before you, 2 more creatures with those membrane-covered mouths. You see them encircling Adife, the Piragua man.
No!
The shaved ice man.
No!
And Esperanza, the sand sculptor. We are back at the top of the round. Leo,
I know.
what do you do?
I'm gonna see what just happened and go, wait, and then I'm gonna just run and just try to shoot whatever I can at what just crushed my father. Because I'm tunnel vision on. I don't know even what to say, and I'm just running in that direction and shooting at the same time.
You're running towards your father, you're shooting. I need you to roll me a
Oh my God.
wisdom saving throw. You are blessed, so you can still use that.
used it already.
Oh, bless is on.
thank
Bless
God.
continues.
Happening.
good,
Bless is
okay.
just happening.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Oh. 15 plus 2, 17.
Nice.
You see your father, and something else takes over you. You start rushing in his direction. You start to loose arrows, and for a moment, fear takes hold in a deeper way. Because of the frightened condition, you need to make that a disadvantage, so roll that again. You can still add bless,
Okay.
but you're gonna take the lesser of the 2 d20 rolls.
Oh my God.
Okay, just 2 less, so 15.
Hell
15.
yeah.
Yeah.
The source of your fear, the abomination that just did what you saw happen to Alita, that fear shakes you. And you can feel it pulling you. You can, in your mind, you have that image again. And side by side, the image of what happened to Alita is moving back and forth between that and what you just saw happen to your father. You let loose an arrow. What is it that returns you? In spite of the fear, in spite of what you just saw happen to your father, what is it that brings you back into a state of focus? Because wherever you're shooting that first arrow, it's making purchase.
Whoa.
I mean, I think I'm just hyper-focused on my training, and I am pushing down the nausea, the fear at seeing not even what the abomination did, but what's just happened to my dad. And I am pushing all that down, and it's almost like tunnel vision. Literally, everything is blackening around the edges of my vision, and I am just hyper-focused on killing that thing and trying to save him if I can.
Your arrow strikes the thigh of that abomination, and it causes him to stumble. But even with that, you can tell the abomination doesn't feel that much pain. Catalina,
Okay.
you're up.
Okay.
Before you is Adife and Esperanza.
Okay. 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 And the abomination's gonna swing down at him?
What you witness is 2 more creatures with those membrane-covered mouths encircling Adife and Esperanza.
Okay. I'm gonna try and avert my gaze from the abomination that makes me feel scared and just focus my attention on what I can do, which is help these people. I'm really torn between Thunderclap and Druidcraft. Because Thunderclap would hit everybody. Everybody would have to make a con save. So I think I'm gonna go with Druidcraft. And I think what I do is I am going to summon some vines just to trip that hope it'll catch its feet and cause him to trip so that they can get away.
Great. Roll me a Arcana check
Okay.
or a Nature check
Ooh, okay. Let's see here.
at disadvantage.
A disadvantage.
Because the source of your frightened condition is within line of sight.
That's fair. That's so fair. Oh my gosh. 14 plus 2, 16. The other one was an 18.
Wow. So total?
14 plus 2, 16.
Total 16. What does it look like when you conjure those vines in front of this abomination?
I press my hand into the earth and I breathe into the earth and it creates this like ripply, like as if something's like walking underneath a sheet. And it's this vine and it goes like whoop, perfect little arch to try and catch the feet of the creature.
So you do. This image of this vine pops up in front of this creature, and what causes him to pause is the expectation that he might trip.
Oh.
As this druidcraft sensory effect.
Sensory effect, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But it's visual, and it does enough of what you need it to do. It causes him to pause for a second, and he stumbles for a moment, giving Esperanza and Adife just enough time to back up just a little bit. But he does have an opportunity to swipe as one of them leaves Adife.
Oh no. Okay. Well, that was my action. I don't think I have any bonus actions physically, other than to just move. So I might move toward, but I know I can't move because I'm frightened. So yeah, I that's all I can do. That's all I can do this turn.
Pause for a moment. At disadvantage, this abomination tries to strike at Adife, which is barely within reach, and misses.
Yes!
Adife and Esperanza are able to go back and make their way towards the road. Adife, the piragua man, the shaved ice vendor, this is who you saved today for Alma. And Esperanza, the sand sculptor.
Yay!
What
Save
happens
the
next?
piraguas, save the world.
Neza, you feel
That was good.
another sweet flute sound surround you, and you are once again met with this inspiration.
It's fucking me up because I just saw her father be smashed against the rock. So there are a couple of things I want to do. Is he dead? Do I see him breathing? Do I see life? Do I see anything?
From this distance, you can't determine that, but if you move closer, you think that you might get a better chance, but there's a lot in the way. There's a lot of chaos. You saw that Leo moved forward in his direction. You know that he is on the ground. And you did see him take quite the blow.
Yeah.
How far is Catalina from him?
Catalina from him, he's about 180 feet away from where you all were.
Oh.
He's quite a distance away, with a lot of other chaos happening in between you and them.
Okay, who's directly in front of me? What are the enemies in front of me?
The enemies in front of you are the abomination. You have one giant abomination who is now moving his attention towards another group of villagers.
No.
You have the abomination that you had knocked prone with Teo.
Nice.
Is standing up and is scanning around, looking at who to blast next. And in a little bit in the distance, you have that other abomination, the female that just took down Elida.
No.
Help him. Help him. You helped me. Help him. I remember that I healed myself.
Yes.
And I'm appealing to whatever the hell that was that came in the shape of this hummingbird that I've been looking for to save her dad.
Roll for me. A nature check or an arcana check.
And I have my...
You have bardic inspiration.
No.
I hope that's good, yes?
No, 11.
11. You're standing there, Neza, and you're taking in everything that's happening in front of you.
Yeah.
You hear cries, screams of pain. You hear people shouting and running. And you call out for help. silence. But what you see is a monarch butterfly flying ahead of you, and then another, and another, and another. And then you hear a muffled cry. You turn to see Elitza. A javelin has pierced her through her back and out through her chest. You see fear in her eyes for a brief moment, and she reaches out to you as another javelin strikes her. And she falls. In the distance, you see several more abominations and membrane-mouthed creatures rushing towards different groups of villagers trying to flee. You see High Priestess Itzel taking everything happening around her in. Her posture changes. She looks around. She reaches her hand up towards the heavens. A glow of light bursts from above her and wraps itself around her as she moves towards the horde, slaughtering her people, radiating like a beacon of violet light from the fairy fire that she just cast on herself. Priestess Itzel draws the horde away from the villagers.
No!
And onto herself.
No!
And like a wave, they engulf her. The guardian of the divine falls. But those villagers get away. Your senses are bombarded by the screams, the cries, the chaos of the massacre that's happening around you, and everything seems to slow down. Leo, where is your attention?
Okay. I'm trying to go towards my father. I'm trying to fight all instinct that I can to get close enough to where this creature's a danger to me, because I think inside I want to save him, but I also know he doesn't want to see me dead, right? And so there's this like crazy disconnect going on in my mind about that, but I am trying to get closer to him anyways. And if the creature's still there, I don't know if it's been distracted by what the priestess just did, I am trying to just get to him or close enough to see if he is breathing and stable or if he's actually dead.
Goja, where is your attention?
Whew, lordy, lordy, lord. My attention is still within myself. After accomplishing that feat, I reach out and I'm currently talking to Mateo, my brother. You were able to communicate with me. So that must mean that I must be able to communicate with you. Tell me what's going on. Make sense of this. Mateo, are you here?
Catalina, where is your attention?
Oh my God, I think it was on the High Priestess. I've never seen fairy fire used that way before, but I know what fairy fire can do, and it just makes it advantageous to attack you. And so I just, the level of self-sacrifice I don't think has ever occurred to me before. And then I look to Elitza, and I am just struck with this, and I can feel within myself that my magic is fading, that I don't have much more I can give. And I just look down at like what meager like things I have, like a shield and some armor and myself, and I feel very like powerless in this moment.
Neza, where is your attention?
No, I'm sorry. I was so mean. I was such an idiot. I'm sorry. And I put my hand to her lips and I try and use healing hands, the 2 points that I have left. I try and heal her.
Leo, you are rushing towards your father. Chaos happening all around you. Goja, you standing there beseeching your brother's spirit to offer some kind of guidance. Catalina, you look towards Elitza and you see Neza rushing to her, falling to his knees. Neza, you put your hands on Elitsa and you conjure that last bit of healing magic that you have. You can feel it moving from your heart down into your shoulder and your arm, down into your fingers. The sounds around you start to become more distant. And that is where our remembering will linger for now.